I like the pictures.
I'm ready.
Made me hungry. I'm Chris Fenimore.
And I'm Nancy Polinsky.
And we're back in the kitchen for a sort of a, I thought of it as a seasonal show, but it's not, because it's about tailgating.
Tailgating.
And tailgating goes on 12 months of the year.
During pirate season.
Pirate season.
During Steeler season. Please notice my terrible towel earrings. I hope you didn't miss those.
I didn't miss them. I have a pair myself, but I don't have they're clip-ons. Anyway, what we decided to do was actually to revisit the subject of tailgating. Mm-hmm. We had done a tailgating show, I don't know, 15 years ago or whatever, and the oxide fell off the tape. We can't even run that show anymore. So we decided to go back. We added a few more recipes. So now this book has almost 200 recipes for tailgating.
Perfect.
And it's tailgating whether you're in the parking lot, in your living room, in the backyard, wherever you want to tailgate, and whenever you want to tailgate. We've got recipes that will really perk up your event. And it's everything from appetizers to,
desserts.
Snacks and desserts and meats and grilling and chilies and all those things that we associate with tailgating. The enjoyment of food before, during, and after some sporting event, I guess. Well, they do it for polo.
They do it for everything. And I think they always say that food tastes better outside, and I agree that it does, but I think it also tastes better with that anticipation and hope for a win.
Yes.
It tastes better before the game than after if you're not the victor.
That's right. So anyway, we're going to tell you how you can get your own copy of this brand new cookbook. But first, we got to cook something.
Yeah.
We're going to entice you by sharing some of the recipes. And in order to do that, our first recipe is for a hot sausage soup. And I've got my hot sausage soup assistant.
And he's a hottie. Come in here, Joseph, you hottie.
This is my son Joseph, who's been on the show many times. So he's going to help me make this hot sausage soup. I'm going to put him on the pan, and I'm going to do the board.
I'm going to butt out of here, and you can watch you guys.
Okay, so now the idea for this hot sausage soup came from like a combination of things that we love to eat. So sausage and peppers and onions and greens and beans and
all good
things. But I was trying to figure a way to make it so it would be portable. And you could bring it out to a game, in a thermos or whatever. So we came up with this hot sausage soup recipe, and that's what we're going to make for you today. We start off with, guess what? Sausage, and
We've already got it going here,
yeah.
But don't feel like you've been cheated out of any steps. It was just sausage in some water.
Right. You put the sausage into some water so that as the water evaporates, the sausage gets to cook before it burns. Now, what it has done now is the sausage is cooked, and it's going to cook more later, but it's created also a beautiful fond on this. I'm going to take the sausage out of there so that we can start building other stuff in the pan. And then, Joe, I'm going to ask you to get some oil and put that in there. This sausage happened to be so lean, you poke a few holes in the sausage as it's cooking, but so that it will release some heat, some oil. But this sausage was so lean that it didn't, none came out. All right, so now what I'm going to do is to, chop an onion and get some onion flavor in there.
Think that's going to be enough oil?
Yeah, that'll be enough. I just want to get them to be able to fry in there and get nice and soft and brown up a little bit. One of the things that people like to make when they're tailgating, if they have a grill, is sausage and peppers and onions. And, that's a real popular sandwich.
Yeah. And this is all of that and a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay.
In fact, by the sounds of what you just said, that's the same recipe, just you'd stop at a certain point.
Yeah. Now, we're making this with hot sausage. I think, for those folks who are less adventurous.
You could use sweet.
Yeah, you can use.
I was going to say, it's probably going to need something.
Something to stir that around with.
Although you need this to scoop out the beans.
Yeah, we'll
double purpose?
Yeah, we'll double purpose it just right there. Okay, so now I'm going to clear this off. And while that's starting to cook, I'm going to take one red and one green pepper. You could use all of one or all of the other if you felt like you preferred one or the other. I like to just have the mix for the color and some of the different flavoring. Okay. And I'll just chop that down.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is there any tailgating going on up at Case that you know of? You're not really.
I don't really know. Though what I was going to say is that as far as tailgating snacks go, if you bring the right tailgating snack to your game event, it doesn't often feel like there is any losing.
Yeah.
I think about the Pirates game that we went to. We made some sandwiches that we brought up there that had mortadella and cheese and fried peppers.
Yeah, so who cares who wins, right?
Yeah.
All right, so now we've got that started. And this can be kind of rough, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're not doing like a brunoise cut for a restaurant or soup or whatever. Actually, what's happening now is as you stir that around, you can see that the moisture from the onion is lifting that fond at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where all the flavor from the sausage has gone, or some of the flavor from the sausage.
And the onions are, they're turning yellow a little bit.
Yeah, going to get soft and delish. Okay. As we were making our sample of this yesterday, Joe, you remarked that it has all of the makings of the Sunday sauce, because when we make our Sunday sauce, we fry onions and then we put tomato sauce in it and some meat, usually sausage or meatballs. Yeah. Okay, I just want to get this all chopped. Okay.
Yeah, it really is. It's a fusion of the Sunday sauce and beans and greens.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to put those in there. Whoop.
Ooh.
Escapee. And you would fry that until they were soft. And then what you do is to cut the sausage into little bite-sized pieces. Again, doing this at home, you'd probably let this go a few more minutes.
Yeah, until it's a little softer, but we only have so much time.
Yes, so we're going to abbreviate it a
In
little bit.
fact, he's gone double duty on chopping up the sausage.
Yeah, I'm an ambisausterous. Oh, terrible. Okay. This is not something that was from my childhood, but all of the ingredients from it are, and so you're right, it does sort of remind me of Sundays at home.
Mm-hmm.
Now you put that in, you don't have to, cook the sausage much more. What I want to do is to add a little bit of garlic to this. And for this purpose, I'm just going to crush that garlic a little bit, get out some more of the flavor. I'm not going to mince it or anything, just going to smash it a little bit. There we go. Now that smell suddenly pops up, doesn't it?
I always wish that there was, smell-o-vision so that you could actually smell what's going on in the studio.
All right, now I'm going to add a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. All right, and a 28-ounce can of water. So I'm going to add that while you stir that around, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And this will, I swish it around in the can, and that makes sure I get every last little bit of tomato out of there. And you want to have this on high heat. I'm going to add a bay leaf, all right? And what you want to do is bring that to a boil and then lower it to a simmer and let it cook for, I don't know, half an hour or so. It's just you want to get that sausage flavor into the sauce and all of those things going on. And then, in the last half hour or so, we're going to add, you can add these.
Sure.
And those are some cannellini beans. That's 1 can of cannellini beans and 1 can of cannellini beans that we have pureed. We put it into a actually we used a boat motor, an immersion blender. And we were able to get it nice and smooth. And what that'll do is to thicken up and give texture to this soup. And then the last ingredient is really up to you. It's some kind of greens. What I have here is baby kale. Baby kale is a great product because, you know, sometimes you think of kale as bitter and tough and whatnot, but the baby kale, you can eat this stuff raw. It's just very young kale before it grows up to be a tough guy. And so that's what I'm using. You could use escarole or any kind of green that you favor. And so then this is the last thing that you put in, and you stir that around.
Very carefully so that I don't spill it over the edge here.
I'm just going to add a little bit of salt. There's quite a bit of sodium, and it's better to flavor it after it's all done. Did I put the bay leaf in?
You did.
Okay, we got a bay leaf in there. I'm not going to put pepper because of the hot pepper that's in there. So this is how it looks before it's completely cooked.
Right. And at that, this didn't have the half hour between when you put the tomatoes in.
Put a cover on that or whatever, but we have one that's all done.
I don't know that we have a cover right now.
No. You could just take the lid from that one. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you would spoon up a couple of bowls of this, Joe.
Sure.
Make sure I get a piece of that sausage in there. That's
yeah.
good. Oh, yeah. So you could see, this is a lot more like a stew than a soup. But oh boy, it's got beans and greens and peppers and onions. And that should be nice and hot now.
Oh, yeah.
You could pack this in a thermos, bring it to the game.
Mm-hmm.
I want to tell you, that sausage ends up being so tender because of the slow cooking.
Right.
Like sort of cooked twice.
This would be an awesome thing to make for, maybe like a winter game. I mean, it's fine. It's fine now, but
winter would be great.
Yeah, warm you right up.
So this and almost 200 additional tailgate recipes are yours when you become a member of WQED, and here's how you can get it.